Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here. Welcome back to another video for Wild Hearts, and today I want to talk about Karakuri building. In the game, there is of course this concept known as the Karakuri. These are basically the little wooden structures that you see being constructed both in combat and also around the world for bigger sort of transportation or base building aspects of the game. And they are one of the core features in Wild Hearts, they're integral to gameplay, and it's actually a really cool system. But in this video, I want to go through how it works and kind of just talk about some of the more granular aspects of the system so you guys can get a clearer picture. So if you do enjoy this, you do find it helpful, a like would be super appreciated. If you have any questions, by all means let me know in the comments down below. And again, do be sure to keep it locked because we will still be bringing you guys more Wild Hearts coverage. But to begin with, again, as mentioned, the Karakuri is basically the building element of the game. When you start the game, I can't show you the very beginning, but when you start the game, you are introduced to it through a cutscene, and from that point onwards, you then have the ability to build things on the fly. Now, at the very beginning, that is as simple as constructing the little sort of crates you have seen me doing in various different sort of elements of the gameplay. You can stack them multiple times, you can climb up them, you can leap off them, and that gives you access to a powerful aerial attack. That, in and of itself, is pretty useful. But when it comes to actually using these, you basically hold down the left bumper and it brings up a quick menu at the bottom of the screen. And basically there are 4 different ones you can deploy quickly based on what is currently mapped. It does appear when you actually look at the menu, which admittedly I can't show you right now. I'm unable to show you any sort of menu specific stuff, but basically in the menu you have the ability to customize the Karakuri that are assigned to those slots. So I'd imagine later on in the game, if you find other quick access ones that you prefer, you can probably swap them out. But the cube itself, or the sort of box itself, is definitely going to become a staple because that factors into many other things. But basically, you hold down the bumper and you can then very quickly press one of the 4 face buttons, and whatever is assigned will be deployed incredibly quickly, provided of course you have Karakuri thread. At the bottom of your screen, you have this little sort of diamond UI, and this basically is your quantity of Karakuri thread. You use this to build the different items, and of course as you build them, this depletes, but you can then replenish this either when you are fighting the monsters, the kimono, and just simply by attacking in combat, you will gradually accrue some of these. However, when you're exploring the world as well, you can also go and chop down trees, mine rocks, and this will also give you materials needed to replenish these threads. Additionally, the little sort of round ball-like companion that you will actually discover as you're playing throughout the game, this can follow you, and during combat, this can also occasionally drop down additional threads to help replenish things, so that's also another useful way to fill them back up. But basically, you're always going to want to make sure you have a decent stock of these, because without them, you obviously can't build. It is also worth noting that when you are fighting kimono, you will sometimes see these glowing orbs on the side of them. If you use the climber mechanic and you actually climb up to the side of them, you can then hold down left trigger and basically rip the energy out of them. Doing so will actually replenish and bolster your Karakuri thread temporarily, allowing you to exceed the previous cap, which basically allows you to then spam out a lot more constructions. In the demo that I had a chance to play, because I didn't really have too many offense focused ones, this wasn't necessarily that useful. However, as I've sort of seen in some of the behind closed doors demonstrations, this is perfect when you have access to something like the Karakuri hammer, because you can then construct that quickly and it will basically slam down on the enemy. And if you have a lot of threads, you can then basically spam these, or spam a few of these, to basically get multiple hammer attacks to lay waste to the monster, which is actually super useful and kind of hilarious when you see it in motion. But again, I didn't get a chance to explore that myself. When it comes to actually evolving and sort of unlocking new Karakuri, again, as mentioned, some of these you will just get organically as you play throughout the game. Some of them, there is actually a tree, sort of an unlock tree in game. Again, I can't show you because it's a menu, but picture a tree that basically you go down the nodes and you can pick what you want to unlock once you have got the required materials. And this will in turn either upgrade or kind of unlock new things for you to build. Some of them are sort of the more permanent things. Some of them are of course used in combat. However, you can't just unlock all of them manually. Some of them do have to come based on inspiration. I spoke about this in a previous video, but certain ones will come to you in the middle of a big notable fight, the most noteworthy one being when you're fighting King Tusk, and the game teaches you how to build a bulwark for the first time, and then of course from that point onwards it's been unlocked and you simply have access to it. So the combination of sort of purchasing some upgrades with materials and also getting some through inspiration is actually a really nice system. But again, on top of that, there are also the Dragon Karakuri. So basically when you're playing throughout the game, you will have the ability to craft more permanent constructions. These are things like the base camp, which can actually act as a fast travel location. So wherever you place a tent, it's basically a location you can fast travel to, meaning you can create multiple locations to quickly zip around the map. You can also place down things like the campfire, which is where you go to cook meals, customize your little companion, and also set up online matches. You can craft the forge, where of course you can go to upgrade your weapons and your armor. You can craft signs to leave messages for people. You can craft a sort of meat rack where you can basically leave meat cooking whilst you're out on quests, or you can construct the tall towers, which are basically used to scan the vicinity, and you can then use that to locate where some of the kimono are in case you want to go and hunt them randomly around the world. Now, in order to be able to build these permanent ones, you will need to go and find the dragon wells, which are basically these glowing red locations around the map. Doing so basically gives you more dragon well energy effectively, which is used to build the bigger constructions. So as you explore the map, as you find more of these things, you will basically unlock the ability to build more things around your map, and that of course also extends to like the zip lines. So if you want to be able to construct lots of shortcuts, lots of different things to make your sort of navigation much smoother, you're going to want to seek these out. Fortunately, dragon wells are also marked on the main map, so you can use that and sort of work your way around the map to unlock as many things as you want, so you can then build to your heart's content, or at least while you have resources. Keep in mind, there are of course a limit to these things. When you start building some of the dragon Karakuri, when you run out of the sort of energy or the bar goes down, then basically you cannot build any more of that thing. So you'll either need to find more wells or just decide where you want to place things. You can also destroy them anytime you want to. You can simply go up and hack and slash them. So if you decide you put it in the wrong place, it is not fixed forever. But for the time being, that's a little rundown on the building system, at least from what I got to experience so far. There will be more to it because of course there are things that I have yet to encounter, things I have yet to test. So as and when we do learn more, I will bring you guys more information. But for the time being, from my time playing the early preview hands-on build, which again is work in progress, that is how building works. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you missed some of the recent videos, be sure to check out one of these ones and keep it locked for plenty more.